Hey YouTube, welcome to Raw Bert. Apparently this is the month for new series and witty titles, or not so witty, but just a pro tip, if you're ever going to record in LA, plan on getting 3 helicopters, 2 planes, and a horse walking by. There's also a dude with a bucket who's walking around here. It's kind of creeping me out. I want to be able to offer ideas and thoughts to the community and get conversations going. My videos, my content's always intended to do that. It's not intended to be the be-all, end-all, but to be a starter. And I don't have an opportunity to do all of the edited, scripted videos that I want to do. I want to do more of those, but often I'll go for walks at lunch and ruminate on ideas that I want to share with the community. This is my effort to do that. These are going to be a little more raw, hence the name, Raw Bert. I know, funny, right? A couple days ago, I was on a walk with my wife and chatted with her about the paradox of fiction. So the paradox of fiction is,
for emotions to be rational, they must be in response to things that exist. We have emotional responses to fictional things. We do not believe fictional things exist.
And that creates a paradox. Is it that our emotions are irrational? Is it that we're not experiencing emotions when we're experiencing fiction? How do you resolve those things? It's especially interesting to me because I work in film. I go to the How to Train Your Dragon 2 premiere. I see the scene with Stoic and Valka, and I get emotional. I well up because I get sucked into the story and I experience the characters in the same way that other people do. Even though I know where the set begins and ends, and I was thinking about this, I even know all the possible worlds that the characters existed in. There are different manifestations of the story that I experienced over the course of production. There are different lines that got swapped in and out, even within those scenes, and yet I get taken up and experience emotions despite these characters being, I know the number of furs on Stoic's beard, but you get what I'm saying, is that like these things are not real to me. Hell, it's a cartoon, right? Like we're all experiencing a cartoon and we're having emotional responses to them. In the case of experiencing fear for a character on TV that I'm watching, I'm sitting on my couch, they're in jeopardy. I may even know that it's an episodic program where this hero can't die, but I can have genuine fear. When my kids were very young, I caught the movie A Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson, and that movie pissed me off. I actually stopped the movie midway through because or right at the beginning, because it put children at jeopardy, and I saw it as emotional manipulation. I saw it as cheap and as manipulating me, and I didn't like it. It was repulsive to me, and I think a lot of that goes to my own relationship with my children, the experience I have with them, and just not wanting to have that strong emotion. I couldn't take it. I'm a little different now. I can actually watch some of those films as my kids have gotten older, and so maybe there's a relevance there. Some will say that we are genuinely experiencing or believing things to take place. So you hear this term suspension of disbelief thrown around, but that doesn't quite work because I'm in no way running towards the screen trying to save these characters as if they're real. When the fight breaks out, I don't seek cover for me and my family as we're watching it. I know these things aren't real. I know that I don't believe these things to be real, but I have real emotions to them. Well, some will question, are those actually real emotions? Is what I'm experiencing actually the same emotion that I feel when the real thing happens? Probably, this is the whole, is gaming harmful for children, right? It's part of what is the experience of a fiction, and why is it different than the experience of the real thing? Why am I not traumatized after playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right? Probably because I suck and I didn't kill anyone. I'd only empathize with myself. These are interesting questions to me. The way that I explained it to my wife, I suspect it's a little like Capgras delusion. So I bring this example up a lot. Capgras delusion is V.S. Ramachandran is where I got exposed to this, where a patient will have the experience, they will actually be exposed to people who should be familiar to them, but they'll insist that they're imposters. Or the case that I saw is a gentleman who is in his apartment, but he insists that it's not his apartment. It's not really his apartment, that everything looks the same, but that it's an imposter. It's a fake. It's not the real thing. And what this is that he's experienced damage to his connection between his visual cortex and the amygdala. And the amygdala is the emotional center of the brain. And the thought is that he is not experiencing the attachment of the emotion of familiarity with the emotions related to familiarity with the experience of seeing his parents or being in his home. But if he talks to his parents on the phone, because the auditory cortex connects in has a different pathway to the amygdala, he will actually be able to recognize his parents and know that it's his parents. But he can look at his mom right in the face and deny that that's actually his mom. She talks like her, and she could try to convince him, but he just cannot have that experience. And I think part of it is that our emotional center is in a different place. It gets attached differently. And so when we are experiencing visual information, I think it's the case that we are having emotions attached to these experiences in such a way that we can't control them. We can suppress the subjection of these things to scrutiny in a way where maybe emotion doesn't get assigned. And so I don't think the brain is quite as clear cut. I think we tend to think of ourselves as bringing about emotion. That, you know, we'll talk about somebody that's an emotional wall, or that they fail to have proper emotions, and we'll fault them for that, as if this is a process of reasoning, of attaching these things, of properly thinking about it. And I think we can suppress subjecting ourselves to having emotions evaluated in that way, or assigned in that way, mainly from inhibiting deep reflection on things. But I don't think it's actually a voluntary process of having emotion for things or not. I think when you're on a plane and you're feeling fear, even though you can rationalize that turbulence occurs every day, your fear is real. You can't reason it away, as it were. You can have a fear of heights and not be able to actually control it. And I think that fictions kind of operate the same way in terms of emotions getting attached to them. Offer thoughts on this. I'd love to hear what you guys think. This is a super interesting topic to me. I want to do some more exploration into it. Maybe this will be a topic for my thinking thinking without the box. I'm losing track of my titles. I hope you guys enjoy these ruminations, offer thoughts. I'll be doing more of them from time to time. And cheers.